Hey, I'm Hannah.
And I'm Jordan.
We want to welcome you to the Sustain Me podcast, where we teach others how to live a healthy life by breaking down the basics of health through the Sustain Me principle.
And we want to show you that true health is attainable, affordable, and achievable.
In every episode, we will discuss topics breaking down the Sustain Me principle.
So sit back, relax, or sit up and take notes for
the Sustain Me podcast. Woo!
Hi, people. We are alive. We are so happy to be back in the land of the living.
In the land of routine. Oh my gosh.
God, it's so good to be back.
It is. We have been through it each.
Ooh. My
I'm sure all of you guys have too. Good.
Literally everybody has been sick.
Yeah. It's not just sickness. It's also been the weather too. So many things have been stopping normal life to happen.
February in Oklahoma is it is the most weird, bipolar, just confusing situation. One day you'll go to the park. It'll be beautiful.
Yeah.
You might even roll up your sleeves because it's getting a little toasty. Mm-hmm. The next day, ice. No school for 5 weeks.
Yeah, we haven't even had it hasn't been fun cold days.
No.
You know how it snows, winter. I saw some of these people who were up in the actual colder areas, and they're like, "Oh, snow ice cream!" We haven't been able to have snow like that to make snow ice cream.
Not at all. And probably animals peed in the little patch of ice that is in your road in the front of your house.
And it's just the wind chill is making it. Literally, the weather thing yesterday said it's 17 degrees, but it feels like -4.
I'm like, this is how did they get there? Did they go out and they go, ooh, you know what this feels like? It feels like a -4. That's what it feels like. Like, where do they get this? Meteorologist, explain yourself.
Can we just say it's -4 then?
Yeah, for real.
Can we just say that? Can we just be truthful?
Stop pretending it's -4 out there.
And our poor heaters have just been struggling.
Yeah, it's
it is a different kind of cold this week.
It has made me question my life. I'm just kidding. No, but it's freezing and it hurts your hands so bad, and your hands get dry and it's sick. It has been quite a journey, and thank you for sticking with us.
If you're still around, so.
Yeah, if you are still here, thank you.
You're an OG.
Appreciate you so much. Don't give up on us yet.
We're also very hard on ourselves because we got so used to a routine.
We love a routine
of this, and this is also an extra thing for us, in the midst of all the other things that we do, and so it was definitely missed because it's we like doing this, we like doing the other stuff, but
but this is just out of the overflow of how we love it.
If anything needs to go, it has to be doing this, and so that just sucks sometimes. But
yeah,
we're back.
We are back.
It's fine.
It's fine. We're back.
So the mixture of so I guess that's kind of why we haven't been able, not that we're going to just spend 10 minutes talking about this, but it was a lot. We took turns. Each family took turns. Once they got better.
Well, and it went back and forth a few times. I was like, we're good now. And then y'all were like, we're sick again. And then I was like, one of my children puked. And then she's like, oh, fever. And then we're like, oh, okay. Well,
it was really interesting. The moment we would have a day. Oh, and then you had a weird, you were great. And then literally the next day,
I was like, I'm feeling good. Next day, I was like, I'm going to die. What? I thought you were better. I don't know.
We were supposed to record that day too. And Aubrey called Thad, and he was like, no, I have to head home early because Jordan's taking a turn for the worse. And I was like, whoa, what?
Literally. God, it was...
It's she was great yesterday.
False hope. It'll get anyone.
And you had sent me a reel that morning, too. So I was like, I think we're fine.
Yeah. I was like, we're going to do this tomorrow. Little did I know.
Oh, and our kids have been home, for weeks. I think we still, honestly, if we're going to be honest, we totally would have still done this even if, some people were not feeling great. It's the fact that our kids have been here.
They won't leave us alone, and I'm just kidding.
We've had to entertain other humans, and you can't record whenever you've got background noise.
Yeah, I had a conversation with Gray. I was like, Gray, I get it. I don't want to be in here either. I'm tired of this house. We're tired of each other. I get it. I get it. You want to go to school? I want you to go to school.
Oh,
and now he's at school. Praise God.
Yes.
Praise God. Okay, wow. There it is.
We needed to spend that good, 5. Yeah, it was exactly 5 minutes. Exactly 5 minutes. Just getting out there because I'm sure all y'all are listening like, yes, amen, sister, because you're probably going through the same stuff. But we're going to talk about moderation. Yay. And how in the world are we down to the last 2 episodes? This is crazy.
It really is. And we don't want it to end. Mm-mm. So that brings us into, we have two fun little announcements before we dive on into moderation, which can be fun. It can be fun. Don't sleep on moderation.
It's going to be your favorite episode.
You'll love it.
Don't skip to this one.
Don't do it.
Because it will be your favorite.
You're going to love.
Do stuff for my health. Moderate.
That's right.
One Dr. Pepper a day is fine.
Simplification. Oh, praise God. Okay. First announcement, we're going to do a little something called a review raffle.
Ooh, yeah.
Okay. First of all, it's always really good for a podcast to have reviews. So if you have loved our podcast, even if you've listened to only 1 or 2 episodes, we would love for you to go on and post a review either on Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts. I mean, there's a few others if you're listening also there. There's an option for review in all of those. So if you will do that, you will be put into a raffle to win some goodies.
Yes, some goodies from us that we'll put together either some of our recipes and then also maybe some brands of things that we have talked about.
Yes,
throughout
for you
this
to
whole
fully
entire
sustain
season.
Me, not me, but you know what I mean. All that.
We have a cool little calendar that we made that's a sustain me calendar.
Yes. Oh, and it's really cute. Oh, and the banner, the cute printable. Oh, we got cute stuff. Trust me, you want to win.
Yes, you want to win this, especially if you were dedicated to this season of learning this stuff with us.
Yes.
This is something I want it. I want to.
Can we put a
I don't know.
review?
I mean, this is our review right now.
That's right.
This counts. But yeah, please do that. And then even on YouTube, it'll count if you do it on YouTube as well. That would be awesome. And we'll just count that as like a comment. If you comment on
for sure. Yeah,
if you comment on this episode, on the moderation episode, we'll count that as like your entry. So would that be right?
Yeah, I think that's perfect. And then so we have 2 episodes left. We have moderation, we have exercise. So let's give you guys 2 weeks for this review raffle, and then we'll draw the names. We'll put a little posty post of who wins, and it's going to be some really good stuff. Trust me, you really want to put your name in this raffle for sure. So just leave us a review. If you don't say nice things, you don't get added. I'm just kidding. We love
we love constructive criticism.
Yeah, maybe just like not in front of. No, I'm kidding. It's fine.
The 2 rude comments are both from our husbands.
Yeah, right. Aubrey, don't post a review. I'm just kidding.
Bad, don't comment. We already get enough from you guys all the time afterwards. Thank you. You guys keep your honest reviews to yourself. So let's get into moderation. We know you've been dying to know about this one because it is a nice one when it comes to just health, and I think it's left out quite a bit.
Oh, for sure.
Quite a bit. So what are benefits of, I guess, do we need to do we said we weren't really going to do a review of nutrition because everybody's been sick.
We've just tried to survive. We're just getting back into the routine. So you know what? We might talk about it later. How about that?
We launched the nutrition episodes right before Armageddon happened.
Yeah. So. We're like, this will be fun. Well,
we survived. We lived and
you know what? I felt better when I ate better. And I kept thinking in my head, for some reason, my body always wanted sugar and carbs. So I was like, no, that does not help when you're feeling sick. Mm-mm. So I didn't. And I know for a fact, whenever I ate those grapes, I did feel better. Yeah. Like I got better because I ate better.
Yeah, eating whole foods. Yeah, and we took made a lot of onion honey and lots of, I think we only resorted to Tylenol once the fevers,
just hung out
for like 3 days plus. God. After we got to the 3-day mark, it's like, all right,
we
need to sleep.
That's what I think I was telling you. I was like, listen, if a fever hasn't fixed it, like, okay, bro, like we've given you 3 days. So we're going to calm you down a bit.
Because you need sleep. The body needs sleep. We learned about this to recover. I was noticing that was really what was
You have to rest your body, yeah.
Whenever my kids and my husband and me, whenever we couldn't sleep, it was making it worse. And so
yeah. God.
I brought out the melatonin. I brought out the, fun. If you are still in survival with sickness right now.
Yeah.
You could be, hopefully you're getting in the home stretch. But a lot of the Earthly brand tinctures, Feel Better Fast, was...
Oh, yes. That is a good one.
It was a game changer. I was the only one I hadn't tried yet because I did the elderberry, I've done the cough be gone, all of those. And they're good, but that Feel Better Fast was like a instant. I gave that to Charlie, and that was one of the first nights she actually slept through the night.
Oh, my gosh. Okay, well, that's good to know. Feel Better Fast, Earthly, that brand is amazing. Like everything I've tried, but Feel Better Fast for sure.
Yeah, it was...
I forgot about that.
I was going to get the teeth tamer because she was teething, too, at the same time of having the flu. Poor girl. So I was, like, contemplating between both. I'm like, I don't know which one I should do. But I just kept leaning towards the Feel Better Fast, and I was like, I'm just going to do this because I just got to kick this whole thing out of the water here. And it worked really well. And then I gave it to everyone, and every person that got it, they did really well with it.
Wow. Okay. That's amazing.
So that's means what it says.
That's why it's named that, guys. So Feel Better Fast, Earthly. You know what? That might be in our raffle. Who knows? Who knows?
Who knows?
Stomach growled. That's fine. Okay. What are the benefits of moderating? First of all, like, we're going to dive a little bit into what really that even means. So that's a bit of what these benefits are. It's just more information on what moderation is and what that can look like for you and your family.
Yeah.
So Barbara said a really great thing whenever we went to her retreat about moderation, because this was a huge one for her. And she said that you can have too much of a good thing. So when I first heard that, I was like, okay. But then, if you guys have listened to our intro podcast, we actually talked about the absolute toxicness of the non-toxic culture that's around us.
Right.
Because, like, it has actually become super toxic. And I think a huge aspect of that statement that Barbara said, you can have too much of a good thing, is it rings so true with that community of people. Oh, yes.
Because you're trying to do good, you're trying to live right, you're trying to eat good. But whenever judgment comes in, when you see other people who aren't really there yet, that's toxic. That's immediate toxicity right there. And that's not great. And what we learned in the episode of, like, the Trusting in God episode of how powerful your words are. Like, if you are in a mindset of being judgmental, that's not untoxic living.
Exactly. If you have a holistic mindset.
Yeah, it's not.
You can't be beating others down, beating yourself down because you gave your kid French fries. And do you know what I mean? Things like that, because that does even worse for you than the French fries.
Right.
You know,
mind, body, soul. That's
exactly. Like, you should always be looking through that lens of holistic health. And I think a lot of the times those super toxic, non-toxic, they do not look holistically. They like to think that they do.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, there's nothing more hopeless and judgy and just icky feeling than if you post something with a simple question and then they are attacking you because, well, first of all, you shouldn't even be doing that because of blah, 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 blah. And didn't you know that blah, 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 blah. And I was like,
And how many of us moms are super afraid to ask a question about something in a certain group of people because you're like, well, I don't want to tell them that I give my kids Kool-Aid because I'm going to get crucified. Like, guys, it's awful. Like, why do we do that?
Do you want your kids to die? It's like, no,
give them
that's
the
not
information. Like, if they are truly, like, a lot of us are just trying to do the right thing. Point blank. And especially if we were raised a certain way, what's the number one saying we always hear? You know, well, my mom always did this, or my grandparents always gave me this. Mm-hmm. You know, you do what you came from. You know, I get it. And thankfully, a natural approach to things is what I came from, but that's not everybody. Like, that wasn't.
Yeah, exactly.
And I had to learn how to be moderate when it came to, like, okay, when the natural things are not working, I don't need to sit here and beat myself up because my natural remedies are not fixing this, like what happened with my teeth. I'm going to have to moderate my lifestyle right now in order to get some sort of relief and go to the medical side and try to balance it out. And I did, and I had to end up having surgery, and just rubbing arnica on my face didn't help all the time. Like, I wish it would have, you know? And just taking garlic capsules was not going to cut it with my antibiotics. Like, I was trying. I was doing it all, but it was just it wasn't cutting what issue I was having. And so I had to bring in some moderation to my mindset.
Yes.
And not beat myself up of like, I have to take actual antibiotics. I am going to destroy my gut, but I need to fix my teeth, and I know what I can do later to fix my gut.
Exactly. And I think that's great too, because there's never no hope, guys. Like, our bodies are created to regenerate. Like, while we sleep at night, there's certain times in the night that our liver is being regenerated and refueled and nurtured. And then you have our lungs certain times in the night. And it's an amazing thing that our body does. And so it's like nothing's too far gone. Just like that, you saying like the antibiotics, I know what it's going to do to my gut, but you know what? I can go hardcore in the probiotics. I can stay no sugar for a while, and that will build back up my gut flora, and we'll be good. We will be good.
I can have red light therapy. I can do the sauna. Exactly. Like, there's just a lot of things.
Because there's so much no hope in antibiotics. Like, people scare the heck out of people with antibiotics, and I get it. You can have an antibiotic resistance, and that is very scary to get there, because you want to get to a point where your body can actually take them when they need it.
Also do like muscle testing or tip testing to know which ones you need, because that's what I did. I got 3 different ones given to me, because they do the whole just take whatever and see if it works.
Let's just kill all the gut flora.
And I was like, oh my gosh. And I was already very allergic to NSAIDs. Is that what that is?
I don't know.
NSAIDs. I think I'm saying that right. But it's in and then SEDS. It's like a chemical that's in all pain, like almost all pain relief, and also steroids.
Oh gosh.
Because when I took like just basic ibuprofen, and when I took like the Dramamine, when I had that reaction to it, my whole entire mouth was burning every time that I took it, and I was like, what is going on? And so I looked it up, and that's actually a common thing. So you want to try to do Tylenol or acetaminophen or whatever. Pay attention to your body too, because like, if you do have to go the medical route and you have to be moderate, you can also not be dumb in your selection and be like, all right, let's just get it all. Like, because I tip tested on the 3 different things I was given antibiotic wise, and the one that was like, my body needs this one, I took that one, and that one I saw massive results from it.
I love that, because I just got this picture in my head. It's like, sometimes doctors see a situation, and let's say, you know, they see like in a house there's some cockroaches. They're like, okay, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna drop an atomic bomb. It's gonna, actually it won't kill cockroaches. We could try to kill them. It will kill everything else too, but I can guarantee you that it might help your problem. So let's do it.
What an analogy.
Let's do that.
Think of that analogy each time you are given things.
Is it gone? Is it? Well, everything else is, so maybe.
So that's a lovely thing that Barbara said when it came to this, the moderation. If you were given advice from a health professional, she's like, you just smile and you say thank you.
She's so graceful.
Yeah, she's like, thank you so much. I really appreciate what you've given me, and I will think about it, and I'll see what I need to do. And she goes to the other things, kind of like what happened with me. Like, they're like, you're in a lot of pain. You're going to probably have to try steroids. Well, I'm like, dude, I have these allergic reactions to the NSAIDs. I don't like saying that word because I feel like I'm saying it wrong, but this certain ingredient. Whatever it is. So I was like, what could I do? I'm obviously allergic to this, but I'm not, my body's saying it, I can do okay with this antibiotic. So I'll take this antibiotic and I'll do my other healthier pain reliever things.
Yes.
And stick to the Tylenol and let's see what happens. And I was better within like a few days. So
I love that. Oh my gosh.
It's just kind of have just like discernment, take the advice, say thank you kindly. They went to school and they didn't just learn for 8 years for no reason. So there is some,
there's some stuff in those 8 years.
Maybe there could have been more, but it's okay.
Maybe holistic, but that's fine.
Thank you to those who went back and like added to.
My favorite people are the ones that went through the medical field and they know all that. And then they kind of had a awakening to all natural holistic. it's my favorite because they have all the information on that aspect of it and see where that was wrong, you know, but then look through the proper lens and what is that, nurse-minded, a holistic-minded nurse or nurse mama or something. Nurse mama. She's one of my favorites just because she's like very realistic with certain things, like this moderation that we're talking about. Yeah. Then she has the very all-natural, holistic approach to everything too with her kids, and I just love it.
Which that also is where you kind of have to have some moderation too, because once you have so much knowledge of all of the bad and then you go into the good, you can kind of like get into that realm of being a tad. Yeah. Like, don't do that. Like,
but Mom, my arm fell off. Well,
because sometimes
put some arnica. It'll be okay.
Because sometimes your kids have no idea and they don't really care that Red 40 and all the stuff is going to make them go crazy on stuff. They just know that they want that juice and they want that happy meal sometimes. So moderation, like, yeah, you might have kids that absolutely cannot whatsoever have any of that stuff. Yeah. Granted, totally get that. But what if you're doing stuff for your child on a daily basis to help prevent them from having any kind of reaction, like taking the natural antibiotic, like the onion honey? That's what I give my kids like every day is onion honey, and I give them enzymes to be able to process those things they might get a hold of.
Yeah, help their gut.
That way I'm not freaking out. Like, do you know what's in that? A 5-year-old doesn't care. They see it and it's pretty.
They eat stuff off the floor.
Okay. They're very resilient if you helped like guide the foundation with them. And that way, because fear, if you are automatically, I've watched this with how I grew up and how a lot of my friends grew up, because we were friends with people who were way more strict than even we were. And like the whole no sugar, we were friends with people where the mom literally would be okay with them going. She would let them participate in anything where you get candy, and then they would come home and they would throw the candy away. Yeah.
That's sad.
Because she never let them have sugar.
Wow. Like, so, don't even let them take it home.
No. And so then after they left the house, like, they would hide candy. Oh, I'm sure. They'd hide sugar, and they just, like, went buck wild crazy when it came to sugar and candy.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah,
because that's what happens when you don't moderate with your kids. Yep. Because if you have an extreme, they don't really understand why you're, like, trying to prevent certain things. You know? Sneak the good goods like in their drink, in their applesauce. Try to start trading out stuff where they're like, hey, this is really pretty, but this is even prettier. Like, just try to introduce certain things, but don't make it where like, absolutely not. Do you know what sugar does to you? They don't.
They're like, it tastes good.
Yeah. My kid's like, goldfish? I'm like, yeah, goldfish. But how about... This one, how about whales instead? They're like, oh, okay. That's where I feel like moderation is so key for your children's sake, for when they grow up, so they know how to moderate once they get older. Because what they're going to do once they get older, and they were just not allowed to do certain things or eat certain things. Yeah. They won't moderate whatsoever, and they will end up having small addictions to certain food.
Oh, yeah. And ultimately, like, I just love moderation because it teaches not only yourself self-discipline, which, I mean, that is how we should be living life. Like, if you're a Christ follower, that self-discipline is every day. Oh, that's how we should be living in the world we live in today. It is the same with holistic health. It's the opposite of how the world functions. Right. Just like how if we're supposed to walk in the steps of Christ, that's the opposite of how the world functions, right? So moderation is such a huge aspect. If you look, at Jesus' life, he moderated everything. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's crazy. So it teaches your kids, that self-discipline. And I love another thing Barbara talked about is giving your kids that space and that time for them to be able to problem solve and figure out their problems themselves. Yeah, exactly. Because us initially as parents, like, oh, let me do that real quick. You're going to make a mess. So let me hang on. This is about to happen. We don't want that to happen. But it just teaches things. And I think that's a huge thing in like this moderation. And I love this subject too, because it's not a cookie cutter subject for every person. It looks different for everyone. The way, Hannah as a mom with her kiddos will look different from me with my kids because they're completely different kids.
She has 2 boys. I have 2 boys and girls.
Yeah, and another. Another one, a girl, a boy, I don't know.
Yeah,
we don't know. I'll let
Beckham
you know.
Says boy,
excited to know. Well, Beckham knew that she was pregnant, so he's probably a boy.
He keeps saying there's a boy in there and a girl, so we'll see.
Oh my God. I feel like I trust Beckham. Beckham's like 4, 3?
He's 4. He's a little
4
prophet,
going on 40.
Sure.
And I believe him.
Yeah. He's everything he has said so far has all come to pass.
Sorry, I was about to bring up his sorry, Beckham is so funny, guys. He went through a stage where we called him Picasso. He would get the poops of his poops and put them on the wall, and it was all fun and stuff. But I just love, because it was me or Aubrey. We were like, Beckham, do you sometimes eat it? And he's like, sometimes. and we're like, oh my gosh, like we were just intrigued. We're like, well, what's it like? He's like, sometimes good, and then sometimes it's not. And so I just trust everything Beckham says. I love. So anyways,
he has said that for sure, 100%. He told my brother that too. My brother was like, so I heard you eat poop. He goes, I do. My brother was just like, he didn't believe me. He goes, your kid eats poop. And I'm like,
listen,
he's still here, and obviously he was all right. So I know he ate it because he literally threw up right after he did.
And that was when it didn't taste good.
He said it didn't taste like gummy worms like he was expecting.
Oh, gosh. Wow. Okay.
I was like, interesting.
Ooh, moderation.
We love that.
Good poop, bad poop. Okay. Yeah. So a huge thing with moderation too. We're talking about, self-discipline and things like that. I love this scripture, Philippians 4:8, because it just talks about where our mind should be for this mindset of moderation and just a mindset of self-discipline in general. Mm-hmm. And so just take this in. It's so good. Finally, brethren, whatever things are true, whatever things are noble, whatever things are just, whatever things are pure, whatever things are lovely, whatever things are of good report. If there is any virtue and if there is anything praiseworthy, meditate on those things.
Wow.
Yeah.
Philippians 4:8. Philippians is so good.
I love Philippians. Yeah, it's so, so, so good.
So that we talk about the 80-20 rule. We talked about this in the whole abstain thing, but that basically is diet versus lifestyle. So you want to dive into what that even means.
So so the 80-20 rule is my favorite because it can be a lifestyle. It's not like a diet, okay? Which we'll dive in a second, because I think maybe the diet is getting better now, the diet mindset, but it's still an issue people are dealing with.
It's like a bad word.
Yeah.
When you say I'm on a diet, people are like, oh, you must hate
for
your
how
life.
long, And
it shouldn't be that.
No, so the thing with the 80-20 is 80% of what you eat, what you do, everything. Let's look at it holistically, right? Holistically, 80% of your life should be healthy, all natural, good, flourishing thing, right? The other 20%, have the cake. Let's binge Netflix do you know what I'm talking about? Like,
drink that extra cup of coffee.
Yeah, exactly. That is moderation in its finest, right? Because you can't have too much of a good thing. If you did 100 almost turns into a diet mindset to where you can't uphold that forever. And so people with diet, I've heard of keto, which keto is great, and some people do need that for a time. But you've heard of all these diets, the Mediterranean diet, you've heard of the Atkins diet, insert here a diet. Right?
Yeah, paleo, all the things.
Yeah.
But once you make it restricts.
That's the mindset that's there. You can't have this, that, and the other. So you have this mindset on like a negative approach. Like the lens you're looking through is like, I can't. I want to, but I can't. And then with lifestyle, it's like, you know what? I get to nourish my body with these things. I get to nourish my mind with these things 80% of the time. Guess what? I'm going to have a cheat day. I'm going to have a pile of pancakes. Yes. You know what I mean? Like all these things, which, if you make pancakes a certain way, they're really not bad. I'd be in the 80% if you ask me. But anyways, you're not asking me. So that's the mindset with the 80-20 moderation rule. I love it. And I always say that to my clients because it's just so doable.
Because whenever it's lifestyle, then it actually makes that self-discipline really kick in, because let's say one of the days you're not doing your typical, the way that you eat normally, and you're just having a blah day, and you're like, you know what, I'm going to have a bag of Cheetos and Dr. Pepper. But then since you don't do that all the time, that's not an 80% of your life of like you have a Dr. Pepper and a bag of Cheetos or 2 bags of Cheetos every single day. If that's not the 80%, then that small little 10% of like, I just feel like this would make me mentally just be okay today right now. You're not going to overindulge. Like, you're not.
Yes.
You're going to have, like, your body's going to be like, we're good with this. for right now, but we don't need it anymore. Like I don't think I've ever finished now, since we just have a lifestyle of pretty low sugar and like no gluten. I don't crave to eat that kind of stuff like every single day.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And that's why lifestyle is so important instead of making a diet, because when you make it a diet, then you're like, as soon as I'm done with this, I'm going to just go and I'm just going to binge and I'm going to eat bad for 6 days straight.
And it's almost like you are beating yourself up by doing that because you didn't do, you know.
It's so 100%. Much worse to do that to your metabolism, to your brain. Like, you'll go into withdrawals and all the different things. It's not really... It's not healthy.
No, it's not. And I think we were talking about this a little bit, but the next big point in moderation is discernment. Like you asking yourself, what is best for my holistic health and my family's holistic health? So diving into that, like like I said, discerning what you and your family need, but also paying attention to your body. Okay. So let me tell you about this. I was telling Hannah earlier, I won't go into the deets that I went in with her because you don't need to know that. But there was this brand, it might still be around, I don't know. It was a great like tea company. It was called Teami, like T-A-M-I.
Yeah.
And there were some teas that I got that were really good. It was supposed to help like your metabolism, you know, all these different things. It was really great. And I loved it. And then there was a detox tea and I was like, oh my gosh, yes, of course. I'm going to detox. I need that. Okay, so I started it. It was supposed to be 30 days. I lasted like a week and my life was just so dark in that time because what happened, oh yes, I was detoxing, but it wasn't what my body needed because of what my body told me. So 5 a.m, I would wake up with the worst cramps ever. I'm telling you, just stabbing pain, and your girl had to go to the bathroom, and I'm not going to tell you those details, but it was bad. And it happened every morning and my face was breaking out horribly. And I was thinking like, well, it's detox, you know, whatever. I reached out to my naturopath at the time and she was like, well, you've done it for how long? Over a week? Yeah, you should probably stop because your body has been telling you and you've been ignoring it. Cause I was thinking that 100, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I must keep going. This is good for me, you know, even though I was absolutely miserable. Okay. So let's listen to our body. Let's learn from me in that instance and listen to our body. Cause my body says, please stop. Please. We don't need this.
So, yes, it goes in the same with certain diets because you watch that influencer that you liked and they're like, hey,
right.
This carnivore diet,
it's worked for me.
It healed my acne. Well, that's great because they probably have a blood type where they can survive off of just eating meat. But other people cannot do that. Like, I need other things besides just meat. Now, I probably could do it with beef, but the thought of only eating steak and hamburger every single meal, it kind of makes me a little bit nauseous. But I don't know. Maybe I do have a blood type where I would feel good off of it.
Yeah.
You know, but I do know that I don't react to eggs very well. Like, that's just, there's just, pay attention to your body because, like, what happened with her.
Yeah.
Especially if you get past the detox. That's another thing that Barbara talked to us about. She said your body, if you're detoxing something, to know that it's gone too far or if you don't need to actually detox it, if you go past the 3-day mark and you're still ill.
Yes, you still have those withdrawals.
Like she said, you should stop. She's like,
I didn't know that from Barbara yet. I hadn't met her, but I should have stopped 3 days.
She literally said, if you go past the 3 days, she said no one should really do like a fast or like a cleanse, like a juice cleanse for more than 3 days. Naturally, you just shouldn't.
Yeah.
She's like, it's just too much of a good thing. Like, it's she's like, you're gonna ruin you're gonna ruin your bodies once for like good juices and stuff. Like, how many people do a fast, like a juice fast or like the master cleanse, and they're like, I never want to touch lemons ever again.
Yeah, you're like, well, maybe you went too far. If just the sight of a lemon just does you in, you know?
Yeah. So it's like, if you, after the 3-day mark and you still feel horrible, because there is a time and a place, parasite cleanses are a very much thing. If you have battled chronic illness of any kind, I would highly recommend a parasite cleanse. Like, everybody should, honestly. Especially, someone said if you have your phone all the time, you should do some sort of parasite.
Ew.
Yeah.
Just moved
she
my
moves
phone.
her phone. But she said what's the definition of insanity?
Doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different result.
Yeah. So if there's no different result by the third day, maybe it's time to stop. And maybe your body actually doesn't need. Maybe you're better than you think you are. Maybe Jordan didn't actually really need to detox anything.
Maybe. 100% I didn't.
No, because if you needed to, you would have felt better.
Yeah.
Afterwards. Anyway.
Okay.
So self-discipline is the next part of moderation that we've already been talking about this whole time.
All of these just go so well together that when we look in our notes, we're like, oh, wow, we've already hit that. Yeah. But I really love this scripture. I'm going to read the scripture to you guys. It has to do with self-discipline, okay? And moderation, having the self-discipline and the discernment in moderation and what that can look like for you. Okay, this is Philippians 4. We're in Philippians 4 again. Philippians 4:4-7. Okay. Hey. Rejoice in the Lord always. I will say it again. Rejoice. Let your moderation be evident to all. The Lord is near. Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God, and the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guide your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. Oh, wow.
I totally that hit me in a completely, because it's one of my favorite verses, but because of what we're talking about, that hit me very differently.
It really did.
When you think of it in a moderation of food, food.
Yes.
It's like, oh, wow. Because you think of it as like a mental or emotional
thing.
Exactly. When you read it, you're like, oh, don't be anxious and moderation. And you're like, wait, but it's talking about like my nutrition, like eating.
And even, as a parent, what's good for my kids? Am I failing my kids in this? You ask all these questions and it just, you know what? We're going to thank the Lord.
Wow.
And we're going to present our request before, you know what I mean? Like, wow.
With the whole by prayer and petition, like that brings in the whole, like why we pray for our food before we thank, like Thanksgiving, in which
I love that.
You present your request to God. That's pretty cool. It's like he's already giving you the playing field of like, talk to me about this.
Dang, you know what? I just thought of something. What if we prayed before we go to the grocery store?
Hey, that probably would help our discernment.
It would sure help me remember to get the trash bags. But I'm talking about
not detour to the chocolate aisle. I get distracted way too fast. God. Like, this would be good.
I know.
This is not on my list. I don't. This is why I do pick up, because I don't.
Same.
For my own self-control, I don't like going into the store. Because so many things make it in that basket that were not on my list.
And those little turds, they'll put those Cheetos by the checkout, and you're like, well, I'm going to get some.
And once you were like a gluten-free person or someone who can't like have certain things, and then you see brands that have come up with, this is gluten-free, and you're like,
freaking Cheetos are gluten-free. That doesn't mean healthy. I think we've already said that. Okay. That's what
moderation. I did bring that up a second ago.
I really like crunchy Cheetos.
I love those. The healthy ones at Green Acres are really good.
Oh, the baked.
Yes.
Okay.
The baked ones are good, but also the they're called it's a different brand, and they're made with like avocado oil.
Okay. I love me some avocado oil.
I will. Yeah. Never mind. I won't bring this up. We'll do this in another one. But I was gonna say, with the nutrition back, like that's way too far. But anyway, that I figured out of trying to pay more attention to not getting stuff with certain seed oils in it.
Oh, yep. Keeping an eye out.
Because I noticed a difference in how I just felt. You don't have. It's in so much stuff. Like that's another thing I wish I wouldn't have found out about.
Yeah, it's quote unquote healthy stuff too. It's actually so super frustrating.
So sad.
Oh Lord.
All right, so misconceptions. We're already here. Wow, that's crazy.
It really is.
So first, very familiar misconception in the holistic realm of things. You need to be 100% non-toxic so that you and your family don't die. Is that how we should live, Jordan?
Hannah, it's not.
Because does that sound a tad toxic to
me? The world is the world. We can't change it. So let's not let it steal our peace that we just talked about that transcends all understanding. Let's not. And then I feel like we will be a lot better off, and our kids will actually see us not stressed out all the time saying weird stuff that they don't understand. Like, don't do that because that will create this and then that. You know what I mean? Creating like a fear-mongering type situation.
Let's be encouraging to that parent who didn't have any of this you know?
Yes.
And is just trying to do the right thing every single day, you know? And they just want what's good for their kids. Let's make it encouraging for them to be like, oh, okay, I'll start reading labels. Oh, I should probably try to be out in the sun more. Like, let's make it inviting for them to change their lifestyle.
Exactly, because it's like grace and love will attract so many more people than judgy and bossy. Like, no one, I guarantee you, no one has been like, you know what, I totally turned my life around and became more holistic because someone called me a stupid idiot and because I, you know, blah, 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 insert here, whatever I was doing. You know what I mean? Nobody did that.
No. Listen, I'm going to tell you a secret. I secretly don't really tell people how weird I am about stuff.
Me neither.
Because I never want to come off like I'm judging them, like, ever.
Oh, I see.
That's
yes.
why.
Yes.
It's like, yep. Until they legit ask me, hey, what would you do for this? Like, what would you do? I've tried everything, A, B, and C. Hey, try this, this, and this, and this, and this. And I'm like, here's an option. I'm not like, oh my God, don't do that.
Do you hate that person you're talking about? No. This is something I heard. Oh gosh. And this is an example of what you probably shouldn't do. Okay. There was someone who was talking about something they gave their kids, and someone else said, oh, I don't do that because I don't want my child to have cancer. You were there.
Yes, I was.
Okay.
I forgot about that.
And this other person that said what they gave their child was a precious, precious human. And so was the other person. But I was very surprised in that other person's face when that person said, I'd rather not give my child cancer.
I remember that. That just hits a little bit. No one's purposely trying to give their kids cancer, but
like, no one.
Just be aware and don't go 100 on this. Like, if you are that person who has just deep dived into off the grid living and everything, that's cool. That's awesome.
It's a deep hole. I got caught there.
That's amazing. But try to think about the fact that it took you a while to get there. Like, it took you a lot of research. It took you a lot of like, maybe I might not do this. Like, you got to where you were with methods and with steps of awareness. Don't steal that from other people. Like, let them figure it out without judgment, and just do a Barbara. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm going to go do this now. I remember her saying, I'm going to go do this now. Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Yes.
You have a nice day. Next.
See, didn't that feel nice? So soothing.
Yeah, my siblings even said they didn't really know how weird I was about certain things until they actually live with me. And they're like, oh.
And see it. Yeah, because you don't force it.
No. I'm like, I still drink a Dr. Pepper here and there. Like,
moderation.
It's fine. Yeah. But if you get sick and you're at my house and you give me the green light to take care of you, you best believe I'm going to wrap you in castor oil rags and send you to the sauna and give you a detox bath. And the detox bath is going to look weird because it's going to have clay in it. Then I'm going to give you a drink and you're not going to want to know what's in it. Like, there's just... And then you're going to feel better, like all of them have. Yep. You know? Like, my
brother... And it just surprises people.
Yeah. They're like, huh. Okay. It's... You just can... Lifestyle. Another misconception is so what works for one person works for everyone.
Everyone's different.
This is a slippery slope.
You become friends with someone because there are similarities, right? But there's also differences. There's differences in every single person. I don't care how close you are with someone else or how someone else. We're all so different, right? So not everything works. It doesn't.
Mainly internally, like outwardly, it's very, it's a misconception sometimes where outwardly, like, oh, we definitely drive. But then if you're like eating out with the person or you're eating internally, you have no idea if it affects you the same way. Yes.
Like a bowl of pasta will do this girl in, but Aubrey will just happily go back to sleep. You know what I mean? Very
there different. You go. That's a great, couples are a great example of that.
That's right.
Me and Thad have learned that with caffeine. I can sit there and drink a cup of coffee at 5 p.m. Right. And I am perfect and I will sleep like a baby. And then he's like, if I drink coffee, I have to drink 1 cup at like before 10 a.m.
Wow.
Yeah, because he's so caffeine sensitive.
Okay.
It ruins his life. And for me, crazy. It makes my life so much more whole.
Amen. I agree with you.
When I go similar. That's where we are internally similar.
So similar.
Thank goodness.
Okay, I love this one because we've all heard it.
Yeah.
But we're going to look at this in a moderation lens. Okay, so this is another misconception. You can't teach an old dog new tricks, which means, listen, I've done this my whole life. Sure. Do I have heart disease? Sure. Do I have diabetes? I've done it my whole life. I'm not dead yet. You know what I mean? Like,
I've been given this medicine. I'll just keep taking it.
Yeah, they're just goners. I can tell you, actually, Barbara has turned so many people that are set in their ways to think differently. Mm-hmm. Like, okay, my dad, hi, if you're listening. Okay, my dad, he loves Mountain Dew, don't you, Dad? You love it. And he used to drink, 60 ounce. Is that right, Dad? Like so much Mountain Dew every single day. Ice? No, he would do ice. So probably less. What is it? Yeah. You know, the little crunchy ice. Half, yeah. And he would love it. And, he's still functioning. He's like, I like it. It keeps me going. It's got the caffeine, all that stuff. But then my dad loves Barbara, and he started looking into, more that Barbara believes. And then he bought this, holistic book that talks about herbs and all the healing aspects of herbs. And so there's this process that my dad's gone through, and now he don't drink Mountain Dew no more. And it's just these huge things. I would say with Mountain Dew, my dad was an old dog, didn't want to teach him to, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like he loves his Mountain Dew. Let's not mess with him. But Dad, see, that's a misconception because look at you now.
There you go. That is a huge misconception.
So there's hope for you. Mm-hmm. Even if you're not, my dad's not old. I'm not saying old dog, but I'm saying if you've done something for so long that becomes an old dog to you. That's
and it lines up with the other misconceptions where, like we had said, that came from his own awareness and discernment that he figured out on his own. Yes, probably a lot of people told him, don't be drinking that, Dad.
Like my sisters and my mom.
But whenever everyone said that, I'm sure he didn't listen.
No, it made him want to drink more because my dad is like that, aren't you?
Yep. But he changed it when he personally became aware and discernment and started having and moderating it in his lifestyle and being like, maybe I need one today. Maybe I don't need it. Maybe I don't need it at all. Like
exactly,
it's a process that you personally need to decide for yourself.
Yeah, and discern what's best for you, and then go. Mm-hmm. Go in that.
As Grace says, go, go, go.
Go, go, go. 3. Go, go, go.
Not just one go. I can't ever say go normal now.
Right.
I have to say go, go,
go. Go, go, go. Now, speaking of 3, we're going to apply the A's.
Oh, okay. So for the next season, we're just going to say for the next season, we are working on a jingle for this,
and it's cute.
We are, and we're not going to scare you guys with trying to do it on the fly again.
We won't do that.
I could not go back to listen to that.
My mom was like, it was cute, and I was like, Mom, no, I don't think it was.
No, but thank you for those who think that it was.
It's really sweet.
It's fine, and thank you for not mentioning how bad it was either. But professionally, because we both, when it comes to music, we are a tad more professional than that.
Yeah.
That's how we met, actually. But no, I actually came up with a legit jingle, and we're gonna try to record it, and we might do it on here, kind of make it more I don't know, kind of go with our vibe anyway. Very authentic, and we'll do that for the next season for you guys. So you have to keep listening, and you have to keep staying with us so you can actually hear the jingle that's not going to make you claw your eyes out and not make you think that you feel bad for us.
Yeah, you thought that. You did, and that's okay.
It's okay because we did too. It's fine.
We felt bad for ourselves when we listened to it.
So how do we make this attainable, Jordan?
Yeah, which attainable means capable of being done or carried out. Okay, so how we're going to do that is, we're going to, what we talked about, discernment, right? We're going to pray and discern what is best for you and for your family. That's what we need to do first and foremost. We can make ourselves these goals and these lists of what we should do or what these influencers have said and stuff like that. But let's pray and discern holistically, health-wise, what is best for, first of all, you and then your family.
Right.
That's what we're going to do. That's how we make it capable of being done or carried out.
Your family, not what other families are doing.
Yes, exactly.
Affordable, inexpensive, reasonably priced. How do we do that with moderation?
Yeah. Well, not every health fad is for you.
Right.
Because you can have too much of a good thing, right? That's what Barbara said. So, what works for one, like we said, might not work for another. So that goes with the discernment and the prayer. This is like a thing that builds. Yeah. So once you pray and discern, you will know what health fads or what's going to work for you and your family. If you have a budget, don't spend all of your money on all these different trinkets and gadgets that are just going to make you so healthy, because there are other aspects, right? Because like breaking the bank is holistically not good for your mind. And, you know, and so that's an aspect too.
Having 10 different versions of protein powder is not going to make you healthier.
Yeah, because one is best for you.
Yeah. No.
Stick to the one.
Just stick to one. Stick to one. And what's in your budget and what feels like good to you. What's good for your family. Stick to that.
Yeah.
And then add other real sources of protein, real sources of fiber. You don't have to supplement everything.
Yes, exactly. Love that. Last A.
Oh, yes. Achievable, able to be brought about or reached successfully.
Ooh, okay. This is fun. This is going to come with the challenge.
Ooh.
So what if we create a health plan that works best for you and your family? So after you pray, after you discern, after you start getting to feel what's going to work for you, your spouse, your kids, whoever is in your life, maybe just you, then we can work on a health plan. What does that health plan look like? Well, we're going to talk about this because it's like you're kind of asking these questions, ultimately this big question that has to do with our challenge of the week. So choosing a lifestyle for your family by asking yourself this question: what do my family and I need most in our health journey? That can be one thing, that can be 2, 3, you know what I mean? Like it's going to look different for everyone, but starting there and creating that health plan. Okay, these are the things that we need. So how do we get there?
An idea for that is if you're a soda family, try to start cutting out soda.
Yes.
Try to start replacing it with something else that is actually going to be benefiting you. Like get like an electrolyte something drink that you try to change to, or do like a sugar-free soda like Xavier or something. And because then you'll get to the point where you're like, maybe don't need that. But just like a plan as a family, because I know there's lots of families that there's just certain type of families when it comes to food. They're a soda family or a Gatorade family or a chip family or, you know what I mean, or snack family. And if those are things that are a tad on the unhealthy side, maybe start being a little bit more moderate with it and be like, we're going to do less of that.
Definitely.
It also makes it way more affordable because you're cutting costs on a lot of
Oh my gosh.
junk.
Definitely. Yeah, that is very true. Because if you're a chip family, you like a crunch and you like a salty. You can get that in healthy options.
Oh, yeah.
You really can. You're like, what's crunchy? You know what's really crunchy? Pickles. You know what I mean? And it has a salty kind of, stuff like that. So just try to look like that and steer in those certain areas, because I know for a fact my boys love fruit. Are they crazy about veggies? No. So I sneak the veggies in other ways. But fruit, oh my gosh, you know what? Instead of these chips, you're getting some applesauce. You're getting some, freeze-dried apples. You're getting grapes. You're getting, you know what I mean? Those kinds of things, and just steer towards that.
Right. And then if you've already been doing that, and if you're already kind of like natural snack family already and you eat whole foods, try to make plans of like eating healthier habits. Like we're all going to sit down when we eat.
Yes.
And we're going to only eat 3 times. What is that, Dave?
My laptop is
okay. I thought that was the recording thing.
Loud.
It's okay. It's singing to us. It likes us talking.
It's telling us to shut up. I'm just kidding.
But yeah, it can be something as simple as just changing a certain style of things, eating 1 meal a day, because we're go, especially if you have kids in high school. You are on the go all the time. And so maybe planning to have a meal together where we're sitting down and we're actually digesting our food, just different plans like that.
Oh, yeah.
Mentally, it's healthy.
Those are ideas. Pray about it. Discern. If you have any questions, if you're excited about a health plan that you created, reach out to us. Tell us. We would love to see like what moderation looks like in your life.
Yeah. If you want more ideas, we can give you more ideas as well too.
Yeah. Exactly.
But that's basically the challenge of apply the A's are the challenge of the week, I think.
That's what it's turned into, which is kind of fun.
Because it's literally the same. I'm like reading. I'm like, that's exactly.
Well, because you are applying the A's, which is that is it.
Apply the A's as your challenge.
That's right. Thank you guys.
See you in the next episode.
For hanging out with us.
The last episode is next.
But we're not going to be done.
No.
I forgot one announcement.
Right.
Okay. Why did I act so surprised? Because we wrote down the announcement and talked about it. I'm so sorry. But what we're going to do is 1 or 2 episodes to end off this season 1 of doing the Sustain Me protocol and acronym. We want to do Q&As. Do you have questions for us? We would love certain subjects. There's one mom that was interested. Can you dive into what food dyes do to the kids? And things like that. What is something topics or questions that you have for us that we could dive into for maybe 1 or 2 episodes to finish off this season.
Put your questions. You can even email us if you want. And then we will look out on the social media. We'll put a poll or a question box up there. That will probably be the easiest way.
I think so too, yeah.
So look out for that for today and tomorrow of the question box so that you can put your questions in. And we'll probably do that a few times next week too.
Definitely. Yeah. That will be very fun.
Well, I'll talk to you soon. This was supposed to be a short episode, but again,
gosh dang it, every time.
I just love talking to you guys so much.
I love that.
Well, it's been a hot minute.
We haven't talked to a lot of human beings for like 2 weeks. Literally.
Except for on text.
It's been the worst.
Hope you guys have a good week. Catch you on the next one.
Stay healthy.
Bye.